Okay, so sales and operations planning. So the topics we'll be covering in the sales and operations planning is, first we'll see the overview. Okay, first we'll see the overview, then we'll see what are the different components in SOP. Okay, what is standard SOP and what is flexible planning. Okay, and then we'll understand some important objects used in sales and operations planning, like infrastructure, information structure, and then planning method. What are the different planning methods available? Okay, what is the difference between them? Consistent planning, level by level planning, and delta planning. And we'll see planning type. So we'll understand these basics, and then we'll go to the different components in the SOP. Okay, so basically, what is SOP? What is sales and operations planning? Okay, sales and operations planning is a planning and forecasting module within the logistic area of R3. So it's basically a forecasting tool kind of thing. Okay, so we use SOP to help us forecast future sales, and based on the future sales data, you will be developing your production plans and to perform feasibility studies. Okay, so a sales plan could be developed, for example, from information from the sales module of R3. So you take a sales plan, and then based on that sales plan, you will be developing your production plan. So your future production plan you will be developing. Okay, so this is what the sales and operations planning. So basically, what we will be doing here is you take your sales forecast. Okay, that you will convert it to a feasible production plan. Okay, that's what you will be doing it in the sales and operations planning. Okay, so the sales forecast will be given by the sales people. You take that, then you convert that into a production plan. Of course, you take some factors into consideration, our capacity, okay, our seasonal factors, those kind of things you will consider, and accordingly you will be creating a production plan. So that is what you will be doing normally in the sales and operations planning. Okay, so before going into the sales and operations planning, this is what we will be doing. We'll take the sales plan, okay, and then accordingly we'll be calculating our production plan. Of course, we'll consider various factors, stocks, and your capacity estimates. All those things you will consider, and accordingly you will be creating the production plan. Okay, so the components in SOP is basically these two: flexible planning and standard SOP. We will see these things in detail when we go to the particular flows. Once we understand the basics. Standard SOP, as the name suggests, it's already fully configured in the system. Okay, here you don't do any configuration or design. Only you do planning here. That's all. Okay, as it is designed to standard SOP, you just use the design as it is and you start planning. Whereas in the flexible planning, the configuration can be done as per our requirement. That is why it's named as flexible. Okay, so you design your configuration, you set up everything as per your requirement, and then you do the plan. Okay, so these are the two ones: standard SOP and flexible plan. So once we understand the basics, we'll go to the flows of the two. Okay, so that is what the two components of SOP. So after that, so basically before going into these two tools, we need to understand some concepts, some objects. One is the information structure. Next one is the planning method. Okay, okay, and next one is the planning type. So these three tools we need to understand before going into the details. If you don't understand these three, you will not be able to understand the further standard SOP. Okay, so first we'll start with information structure. What is information structure? Okay, so information structure, basically the sales and operations planning application is based on information structure. Okay, so information structure is a statistical file containing your operational data. So it's basically information structure is the place where all your planning data is gets stored. Okay, so all your whatever the planning you do, that gets stored in the information structure. Okay, so that is gets stored in the information structure. So information structure basically contains three kinds of information. One is characteristics. Next is key figures, and the another one is a period unit. Okay, so what is characteristics? Characteristics is the organizational objects for which you are going to do planning, like sales organization, plant, material, okay, distribution channel, division, all those things are called characteristics. Next one is the key figures. Key figures are nothing but the values, quantities, like sales quantity, production quantity. And then next one is a period bucket. Period bucket is nothing but, period unit is nothing but time units, nothing but time buckets like month, week, year, like that. Okay, so this is the information that information structure will contain. It contains characteristics, it contains key figures, and it will contain period unit. These three things it will contain. So I'll show it in the system, then we'll go to the further listing. So it will contain characteristics, key figures, and it will contain period units. Okay, so I'll log on to the system. I'll show you where it is gets stored. Okay, go to MM03. Sorry, go to logistics. Okay, go to logistics. Go to SAP reference IMG. Okay, so go to logistics general. Okay, then go to logistics information system. Okay, then go to planning. Okay, not planning, reporting, sorry, logistics. No, go to logistics data warehouse. Okay, then go to databases. Okay, then go to information structure, and go to information structure. Okay, here you are able to see maintain self-defined information structures. So here you maintain the information structure. Okay, so I'll go to the display mode as of now. I'll show you the ones which are there in the system already. The topic we are discussing today and tomorrow, this sales and operations, will be somewhat, to some extent, is a boring topic actually, frankly speaking. Okay, so I'll take one of the existing infrastructure in the system. So let me take S076. Okay, I'll type it directly, 076. Okay, enter. Okay, so you are able to see this is the infrastructure. So the one which we discussed first, characteristics. Okay, so these are the characteristics. Here the product group or material, plant, production version. So these are the organizational objects for which you are going to do planning. That means you are going to do planning for material and plant level combination. Okay, and these are the key figures. So the key figures are nothing but quantities. Key figures are nothing but quantities like sales quantity, production, stock, your stock, target stock level, base supply, target base supply. All those things are key figures. Key figures are nothing but quantities, simple terminology. Okay, so this is the data you contain in the information structure. So standard SAP comes with some information structure. It already have some information structure. If at all you want to create a new one, you can create a new information structure. Okay, so when we go to the flexible planning, that time I will show you how to create a new information structure. Okay, so this is how the information structure is built in the system. Okay, so characteristics, and then you have key figures. Okay, so when we go to the planning, you will be able to understand in detail. Okay, as of now, See, this is how the infrastructure is built in the system. Okay. Now the next one will be the, after information structure you have planning method. Okay. So one of the this is the one we have information structure. The next one is planning method. So what is planning method? Planning method, one of the key importance in SOP is the planning method applied to the information structure. Okay. So the planning method determines how planning data is distributed to different corporate units. Okay. So planning method determines how your data gets distributed or disaggregated to different corporate units. Okay. So I'll explain you with a real-time example, then we will see how it works. Okay, suppose let's say we'll take this example. Okay, in your organization, let's say you are working in a, let's say, cycle manufacturing company. Okay, you are working in a cycle manufacturing company. Okay, so now in your organization you are manufacturing, let's say, men's cycles, women's cycles and children's cycles. Okay, so what your organization decided is, whatever the total quantity we are going to manufacture, okay, from the total we are going to manufacture, 50% will be the men's cycles. Okay, always will be manufacturing 50% men's cycles, remaining 25% women's cycles, and other remaining 25% is children's cycle. So that is what they decided, let's say. Okay, so now let's say in a particular month, let's say I got a requirement for let's say 1000 cycles. I'm going to manufacture 1000 cycles. Okay, my total requirement is to manufacture 1000 cycles. So now when it's 50%, what would be your men's cycles quantity? It is 500. This will become 250. This will become 250. Okay. Now again, in the men's cycles, I am going to manufacture two types of cycles. Let's say normal cycles, and another one is sports bicycles. Sports bicycles. You have these two. Okay. So now among the men's cycles where I am going to manufacture, let's say 70% is the normal cycles. Okay, and the remaining 30% is sports bicycles. So among these 50%, among these 500, 70% is normal bicycles and the other one is sports bicycles. So 70% means how much? 500 multiplied by 70 divided by 30. So it's almost like 1001. Sorry, it is coming like this: 500 multiplied by 70 by 100, right? $350. Okay, so remaining 150 would be sports bicycle. So the moment you enter the data at level 1, okay, the moment you enter the data at level 1, the data will get blown to all the down levels. See, this is the level 1, top level, total cycles, level 1. The level 2 is types of bicycles, total overall different cycles, and the level 3 is under that again you have different bicycles. So when you enter the data here, the data gets automatically distributed to the down levels. Okay, so what happens is, in case of consistent planning, what happens is, when you change data at one level, okay, so when you change data at one level, automatically the data will get changed at other levels. Suppose if you make this as 2000, immediately, the moment you make it 2000 on top, this will get changed to 1000, this will get changed to 500, and this will get changed to 500, and this will become 700, and this will become 300. So data will get changed at other levels automatically. So that is what the consistent planning. Okay. Now in the level by level planning, what happens is, even though you change it one level, the data, if you change it one level, the data at other levels will not get changed automatically. You need to go and change it. Okay, so that is what level by level planning. These things you will be able to understand you'll be able to understand when we go to the actual standard SOP and flexible planning in detail. Okay, so what you need to understand is in the consistent planning, in the consistent planning, all these planning levels are dependent on each other. In the consistent planning, all levels are dependent. Whereas in level by level planning, okay, these are the planning levels are not dependent on each other, they are independent. Okay, so that is what you need to understand. Okay, consistent planning and level by level planning. Okay, now the other one, the delta planning as of now it is not used, it is now obsolete, they are not using anymore. Okay, even I don't know what is this delta planning. Initially they supplied this delta planning, but now it is obsolete, nobody is using it. Okay, so the planning methods available, consistent planning and level by level planning. So basically this planning method determines how the planning data is distributed to different units. So like this, how the data gets propagated across the levels. That is what the planning method is. Okay, anyhow, you will be able to understand when we go into the details. Okay, so now the next one will be the planning type. So what is this planning type? Planning type is nothing but a table. Okay, planning type, just understand, it's like an Excel file where you do the planning. Okay, so where you do the planning, it's like a table kind of thing. Okay, planning type is a customized view on the planning table. Okay, so it's basically, you try to understand, it's a table. Okay, so you standard SAP comes with some predefined planning types. Of course, whenever you want, you can have your own planning type. You can create your customized planning type. See, why these planning types are created means, see, in your organization there will be a lot of people. Where there will be sales department, there will be a production department. So production department want to see some data on the table, and sales people want to see some data. So what they do is they create their own table, own planning type, and production people will create own planning type. They don't want to see all the key figures on their table. They want to see only their respective key figures. So that is why they will create their own planning types. That is what the planning type. Okay, so a planning type defines the content and layout of the table. Okay, so that is what the planning type is all about. It determines the content, what key figures you want to see, and how the layout will be there. That is what the planning type is all about. Okay, so normally planning type is based on the information structure. So whenever you create a planning type, that you create a planning type with reference to your information structure. So from the information structure, you take the key figures, whatever you want to see it in your planning type, those only you will copy into the planning type. Here if you see, sales people is having one planning type, production people is having one planning type. Okay, so that is what the meaning of it. Okay, you can create n number of planning types as per your requirement. There is no restriction. For a particular information structure, you can create n number of planning types. There is no limit for it. Okay, so anyhow, when we will not be creating now planning type, we will be creating planning type when we go to the flexible planning. Okay, so these are the three objects you need to understand before going into the standard SOP or flexible planning. So one is the information structure, the other one is a planning method, and the other one is a planning type. Okay, so once we know all these things, we'll start with standard SOP. We'll start with standard SOP. Okay, so when we go to the actual tools, you will get a fair understanding of these three objects which we discussed just now. Okay, so we'll start with standard SOP. We'll start with standard SOP. Okay, standard SOP won't take much time. It's very simple. Only 5 steps, because already everything is designed in the system. Okay, so nothing much to do configuration or design, just you do the planning, that's all. Okay, let's start standard SOP. Okay, so in the standard SOP we will be covering what is standard SOP, then we'll see what is product group, how to create the product group, and then we'll see the standard SOP process flow. Okay, and then we'll see the version management, how the standard SOP will work, how the standard SOP uses the versions. Okay, so what is standard SOP? Standard SOP comes largely pre-configured with the system. Okay, it's already designed in the system. You cannot change. Only thing is you will be using the whatever the design or whatever the configuration is there. You use it as it is. Okay, you will not be doing any configuration here. Okay, standard SOP uses the info structure S076. But we already discussed what is information structure. Okay, so standard SOP uses the information structure S076. Okay, I'll show you that. I think it might have got disconnected. Okay, let me log in again. Okay, so go to SPRO, or I'll go to directly the transaction code MC22. Okay, or first let me go to the display mode. S076. This is the information structure we are using. Enter. Okay, so this is the information structure, standard SOP. It uses this one. These are the characteristics and these are the key figures. Okay, so these are the key figures. Okay, so that is the standard SOP information structure. Now the next one is the planning method used for the standard SOP is level by level planning. Okay, we use level by level planning. Already I explained you what is consistent planning and what is a level by level planning. So in the level by level planning levels are independent. If you change data at one level, automatically it will not get changed in other levels. We have to go and manually change it. I'll show you when we go to the standard SOP flow. Okay, and standard SOP works on product groups. Standard SOP works on product groups. What is this product group? How it is created? We will understand all those things in the system. Okay, so this is the sales and operations planning. Basically, you take sales plan, and you finally convert it to a feasible production plan, and then you take all your factors into consideration, like your stock, your inventory, your resources, your machinery, your other materials, everything you consider. Accordingly, you will create a feasible production plan. That is what you are going to do. Okay, now the next one is, first before that let's discuss on the standard information structure. So the information structure which we are going to use in the standard SOP is S076. Even if you want to change it also, you cannot change it. System will not allow. Suppose if I go to change mode, I cannot change this information structure. System will not allow. See, the error you are getting is name falls within SAP name range. You cannot change this information structure. You have to use as it is. That is the importance of it. That is the main characteristics. That is what the main object we have in this S076. You cannot change it. You want to go and change, add any new characteristic or new key figure, you cannot do. You will be getting this error. Okay, system will not allow. So you have to use as it is. So if you go to display, these are the ones. Okay, now the next one is product groups. So what is product group? Okay, a product group combines other product groups and materials. This combination depends on whatever criteria best meet the needs of your company. Okay, so examples include the production cycle, product design, or market behavior. Okay, so product groups basically combination of products which are similar in nature. That's what. Okay, it's a group of products which are similar in nature. Okay, so product groups are classified according to whether they are multi-level or single level. Multi-level means under a product group you have one more product group. Okay, again under the product group you have materials. Whereas single level means in the product group directly you will have materials. Okay, that's what. A product group is multi-level if it contains other product groups. However, the lowest level in a product group hierarchy is always consist of materials. So that is what the meaning of it. Okay, I'll show you a typical product group how it is. So this is the product group. If you see here, we have food products. Under the food products is a is a product group. Under that we have fruit drink products is a product group. Ice cream products is a product group. Snack food products is a product group. Under that you have materials. Orange juice, Under the fruit drink products, you have a material orange juice, grapefruit juice. So under the ice cream, you have three materials, three products. And the snack food products, you have two. So the one which you are able to see is called multi-level product group. So you have one product group, under that you have three product groups, under that you have materials. Okay, so this is what multi-level. Okay, so this is what multi-level product group. So suppose if it is a single level, you have one product group, under that you have directly materials, that's all. So basically product group is a collection of products which are similar in nature. See, all ice cream products are clubbed into one product. Okay, so this is, we'll be creating in the system, we'll be creating the product group in the system. Okay, and next is planning types. We discussed what is a planning type already. So standard SOP uses these planning types. Okay, so when we go to the system, you will be able to understand these planning types. Okay, this comes with standard SOP, standard SAP. You will not be creating anything new. Okay, so now we'll start with the standard SOP process flow. Okay, so first we'll create a sales plan. Okay, then we'll convert that sales plan to production plan. Okay, we'll convert that sales plan to production plan, and then we'll disaggregate the production plan to the material level, and then finally you transfer that plan to your demand management, to your production. Basically from planning to, you will be transferring that to your demand management. So this is the standard SOP process flow. It's very simple, only 5 steps you have. Okay, so let's start that. Okay, before that we'll start creating the what is a product group. I'll create a product group. I think again it might have got disconnected. Just give me 1 minute. I'll log in again. So first we'll start with creating a product group. Okay, so let me note down. Let me take the transaction codes are very difficult to remember. Okay, so this is the process flow. First you create a product group. Okay, of course this is the only master data you create, that's all. Okay, remaining is planning, that's all. Simple is planning. So first you will be creating a product group. I'll create a product group MC84. Okay, so let's start creating it. MC84, the transaction code is MC84. This is the one, create product group. Okay, I'll take which I already made in the system. Okay, 160. Okay, plant is 1000. I'll take the already available finished products in the system. Okay, so let me take these two materials. I'll take this ice cream premium brand and ice cream house brand. I'll take these two materials. Okay, I'll take these two materials, TVF100. Those two materials I'll use. So I'll create a product group called Anita underscore test. I'll create this product group. Okay, give description to it. Okay, so plant, in which plant I'm going to create this product group, I'll enter 1000. My plant is 1000 and my base unit of measure is, let's say, kg. You enter this one. Okay, this is the product group name. This is the description. In this plant I'm going to create this product group, and this is the base unit of measure. Okay, now what are the members? Are you creating level product group or multi-level product? If you are creating a multi-level, you select this one, and then the next level you enter the product groups. Okay, but I'm creating a single level product group, so select the members as materials. Okay, then you click on enter. Okay, you will be getting this screen. So here you will be adding the members, nothing but your materials. Okay, as we are creating single level product group, you will be entering your products over here. So what are our products? I'll select only 2 products. One is TFV 100. Okay, I'll enter that. Okay, now next one is TFV 200. Okay, I'm entering these 2. Okay, I'm entering only 2, but in real time you may have 10, 12 also, to 12, 15 also, as per your client this thing. Okay, now enter the plant. Plant is 1000. Plant is 1000. Now aggregation factor. Aggregation factor is always 1. Okay, previously they used to use this aggregation factor. Now they are not using. So just it's by default it is 1. Now the proportion factor is nothing but the one which we discussed. This is called proportion factor. Okay, so now I'll enter here 70% and 30%. So that means whatever the requirement you enter it for this product group, 70% goes to this material, this product, and 30% goes to this product.